I do, fellas. Nige back here again with another inbox review, and today we're going to be looking at Eduard's Tempest Mark V, the Series 2 version. Okay, so Series 2, in the first boxing of Eduard's kit, they missed some bits and pieces out with the chin radiator. So this bit down here, okay. So they've corrected that within this, and also this has got the short cannons as well, so it hasn't got the cannons sticking out. Other than that, it's more or less the same as far as I'm aware. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll get cracking straight away into the actual kit itself. So yeah, so this here we are, the Mark V Tempest. Okay, so the Mark II, it had a cowling ring, and what they actually did, there are many different variations to improve the Typhoon. So they envisioned it having the rotary engine, the Centaurus, I think it was, but they couldn't get it working in time to a high enough standard. So what they did, they went to the Mark V version, which has got the Napier Sabre engine, which still had its own teething problems. But that's why we get the Mark V as opposed to Mark II. There are other iterations of the kit, the aircraft, but it's mainly the Mark II and the Mark V that they actually care about. So basically, it's a Typhoon, but it's got a different tail, okay, and the wings are even thinner, okay, and there are more there's more surface area. So it was better for medium and high altitude fighting, but it was used in the same sort of role as a Typhoon, albeit it didn't have the bombs and such, okay, but it was very, very good at low level and taking out, as you can see it there, taking out the ME-262. So it would wait around near where known 262s were operating, and as it was coming to land, that's when the Typhoon would attack it. So straight in, okay, same as normal with Eduard kits, nice glossy booklet. This is just a weekend edition, so gone are the days where with the weekend edition you got one, maybe two different markings. Within this one there are 4 different markings. We've got then the sprue map as it's laid out, okay, and you can see we've got some rockets to use on this and other bits and pieces, and we get the call out in Mr. Colour and Aqueous. Okay, so straight on to building the kit. We've got the seat going together, the rudder pedals, the cockpit going together itself with the rear bulkhead and the floor, and then we've got the instrument panel. We then move on to the sidewalls. So this is the framing in the cockpit. This is what made the aircraft really, really rugged and really strong. Okay, very similar to the earlier Hurricane. And we've got the forward bulkhead with the instrument panel going in, and then we move on to the actual radiator, the chin radiator. So you can see all the different parts for this, and if I remember rightly, these parts here, okay, are what make this the Series 2. So these ones, okay, weren't included in the Series 1 kit, I believe. And also this hasn't got the extended cannons. Move then on to the wings and putting in the walls for the undercarriage. More bits and pieces for the undercarriage going in before we then mate the wings together. Once the wings are mated together, we can then slot the actual fuselage on, put all the control surfaces in, and then we can move on putting the insert in for the cockpit. So you've got a bit in there, and obviously your cockpit cannon will slide backwards and forwards there. Moving on to the tail wheels, the main wheel bays, and wheels going on. We've then got some of the actuators going in, the undercarriage bay doors. Moving on to putting the canopy on and the windscreen. That big, massive four-bladed propeller going on there. And then we've got the fuel tanks. So the fuel tanks are clear because this bit here, okay, this bit here was clear perspex on the real aircraft, and the actual fuel tanks were painted. Then we've got rockets going on, the colours of the rockets, before we move on to the 4 colour call-outs. So we've got Wing Commander John B. Ray from number 122 Wing in the Netherlands in 1944. We've got Flight Lieutenant Pierre H. Kolsterman, again, Netherlands, beginning in April 1945. We've then got Pilot Officer Frank A. Lang from number 80 Squadron, again, Netherlands, 1944. And then Squadron Leader Colin H. Metcalf, the second half of 1947. So some nice markings in there. And then we've got our stencil data at the back. And then just some bits and pieces you can get to upgrade this kit. So moving on to the plastic. So we'll start with sprue F. Okay, as with any sort of Eduard kit, you are treated to loads and loads of really fine rivet detail. Okay, so you can see we've got raised rivets. Yeah, you can actually feel the raised rivets in places, and recessed rivets on these parts. Okay, which is really nicely done. Nose cones, control surfaces, tails, parts, the great big propellers. Okay, so really nicely done all round. Moving on to some of the ancillary parts. So you've got cockpit floor just there. You've got the part for the chin radiators, the actual chin radiators themselves. Again, some really nice texture on there, which will hold a wash lovely. The exhaust and other bits and pieces that is molded ever so nicely. Okay. Cockpit panel. You do get one there. That's for if you've got foot wedge, I believe. Okay, turn it over. There's nothing on the other side. Nothing for me to worry about with this kit. Then we move on to the wheels and other parts of the cockpit. So really finely done tubes. Some of the rockets you'll be using wheels and wheel hubs, so you can just see there. Yeah, there. Okay, hopefully you can just see that. It's got written Dunlop on there. Okay, same with the other ones. Moving on to the wing, upper and lower surface. So again, some really fine, beautiful detail on there, all recessed. The bulges for the cannons. Okay, so this one's going to be the short barrel. Okay, so you don't have the barrel sticking out the end. Again, some really nice detail on the lower wing. I'll turn it over, and the ribbon detail for the undercarriage bays. I wonder. I'm not sure they will be, but they're quite big, so they might be a issue might need looking at. So careful fitting with them. I don't know if they're. I can't remember when I built mine whether they were caused an issue. And then we've got the fuselage, and again we have got raised and recessed rivets and panel lines. Well, recessed panel lines, raised rivets all on. Feels lovely. And again, some lovely detail on that I'm hoping you can pick up. Turn it over, and there is the detail in the cockpit. Next up, we have got these clear parts. Okay, so remember, these parts here need to be clear. These parts need to be the belly colour. Okay, so I can't remember what the colour is. Okay. Then we have the clear parts, the same way Eduard always do their clear parts. Okay, but unlike the trophy packs and whatever, you would get potentially multiples of these. You can see we just get the one, and as normal, they are crystal clear from Eduard. And that brings us on to the decals. So we'll just get these open. Okay, so these are their new type decals. Okay, I have done a few of these kit reviews from Eduard recently, and just looking at the same sort of thing, but I know that these are getting better. Okay, you can peel off the, well, it's not the backing paper now, but you can peel it off, or you can leave it. The problem with leaving it, if I just show you, you can see there's actually a lot of carrier film there. Okay, but again, you can remove it and you can leave it, so it's not the end of the world. All right. So that's Eduard's 148th Weekend Edition Tempest Mark V Series 2. Beautiful kit. And like I said, if it's anything like the Series 1, which I'm assuming it will be, it should go together absolutely beautifully. No problems whatsoever. Okay? Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.